Guys, what's up? My name is C-Space, and welcome back to another Medal of Honor Warfighter gameplay. Today I'm going to be telling you whether or not you should buy Medal of Honor Warfighter. This is going to be a pros and cons video, and at the end of the video I'm going to be giving my personal opinions on whether or not you should actually buy this game. So, let's start with the pros. The first pro that I have on my list is weapons. The weapons in this game feel very balanced. The recoil added to certain weapons, making it so that they're specifically made for certain situations, is extremely fun. The snipers are extremely good at long range, the assault rifles are good at medium range, the SMG shotguns are good at close range, and etc. etc. Overall, I feel like the weapon gameplay or the gun gameplay is way better than Battlefield 3. I feel that more people are using diverse weapons, it seems like, and compared to Battlefield 3 where everyone uses kind of the meta game or the go-to guns just to have a good time. I don't really see that much diversity in Battlefield 3 just because it doesn't really feel any different from gun to gun. I mean, to be honest, the gunplay in Battlefield 3 doesn't really stack up to the Medal of Honor gameplay, just because Battlefield 3 doesn't focus heavily on infantry-based gameplay. They kind of focus on both infantry and vehicles, so they kind of have to split up their time and efforts, while Medal of Honor doesn't really have to do that, and they completely focus on the infantry gameplay, and I feel like they nailed it completely. Moving on, with the weapons being balanced, I have to say the customization of the weapons is extremely good. I felt that they did a good job adding all these attachments and customizations with the camos and whatnot, and overall I felt like it was pretty fun to get. Now, although I felt it was kind of a pain trying to understand when I was going to unlock certain things because there wasn't a clear, guideline on what you had to do to unlock certain items. I mean, unlike Battlefield 3, you kind of just unlocked weapons as you leveled up. So I feel like the customization seemed almost unlimited, but it felt kind of redundant. Although it is still a good concept that there's a lot of customization, I do wish that there were a little more gun diversity. There really isn't that many guns that you can get. Different nations pretty much have the same guns. You just have to unlock them at a different stage. But overall, I feel like it's still pretty good. Now moving on to the classes, I feel like the classes is quite balanced. The classes in this game don't really feel too overpowered. At first, most people really didn't like the Spec Ops class just because it had the wall hacks. Basically, it's an ability where they use it, they could see through every single wall for about a second or so, and enemies appear on the screen as purple blobs of poop. And that's pretty much how they use the wall hacks. But on the downsides of using this wall hacks, when you do use it, anyone in the range of, I don't know, maybe 20 meters of you will hear this high-pitched screeching noise, and that indicates that someone's using a wall hack, and they know where it's coming from because most human beings can pretty much pinpoint exactly where sound's coming from, and therefore they can expect where to look. If they hear it on the other side of the wall, they expect to look at that certain corner, blah 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 blah. So overall, I'm pretty sure people adapted pretty well to all the classes, although the first week was probably, the beginning stages. People weren't used to, what was going on and blah, 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 whatever. But still, I feel like the class base is, it's pretty good. Moving on to the fire team system. I was actually very skeptical about the fire team system. I didn't know how it was actually going to play into the actual game, but overall it surprised me. I have to say I love the fire team system. It actually adds an element of teamwork, I'd have to say, compared to other games like Team Fortress 2 or maybe not Call of Duty, Counter-Strike, or maybe even Battlefield 3. Medal of Honor actually solidly, locks its spot in the whole teamwork-based aspect of games that most FPS shooters are kind of lacking in. The fire team buddy makes it so that you kind of want to rely on your fire team buddy. He can heal you. He can resupply your ammo. He can he can see your killer and make you spawn in faster. And it's just overall it's awesome. It's like a high five best friend kind of thing. But I have to say this is kind of like a double-edged sword. If you're not playing with friends, the fire team system can be quite annoying just because playing with randoms is it's always quite difficult to actually communicate with people that you don't know. So I'd say that playing with a friend, the fire team system works, but playing with a random person might not work as well. But still, I feel like it's a pretty good aspect in the game. Moving on to the maps, I have to say the maps are pretty awesome. I don't think I've yeah, I don't think I hate any of the maps at all. I mean, I feel like I love all the maps. I like how the maps are designed, and I like how every game mode actually plays within this map. So, of course, moving on to the game modes are really fun. I don't really think I hate any of the game modes. Probably the least, or the game mode that I don't like the most is probably sector control, just because there's a spawn camp aspect. Some of the maps aren't really designed for sector control, and if your team is extremely good and you know that you completely decimate the other team, it's quite hard for the other team to actually get out of their spawn, and it's really easy for your team to pretty much just spawn camp them, and there's really nothing that can be done unless they break the spawn camp. So that's kind of bad, but other than that, the other game modes are extremely fun. Hotspot, combat mission, home run, TDM. They're all really, really fun games. Moving on to the game sounds, this is kind of like the last pro that I had. I felt that it was kind of minor, but still I had to mention it. I want to focus solely on the sniper headshots. That's something that truly caught my ears. The sniping in this game is really fun, but when you get a headshot, it's so rewarding. You get this crunching kind of sound, kind of like it's like imagining a bullet piercing through your enemy's skull, and you hear that crunching sound as your bullet goes through that enemy. And of course, with the higher powered rifles like the TAC 300 or the CS5 or the TAC 50, that sound is a lot more, I guess, appealing. You get this huge crunching, loud, awesome sound that just makes you feel like you've accomplished this amazing task. And overall, I feel like that's pretty good in this game. I like that aspect. Also, the gun sounds and compared to other games that I've played are pretty well balanced. I mean, I feel like they're not bad, they're not amazing, but overall I feel like they have a good spot in this game. So let's move on to the cons, and I'd have to say the cons are where this game truly, truly suffer. So when the game was actually released, if you haven't already noticed, there are a lot of crashes. Crashes and glitches were probably the main thing that people talked about when they were playing Medal of Honor. They didn't talk about the gameplay, they didn't talk about certain guns being overpowered, classes being OP, blah, blah, blah. They were only talking about these crashes and glitches. And these glitches and crashes were extremely bad. They made it so that playing this game was extremely hard. There's a glitch where if you spawned, or you hit the deploy at spawn or whatever, sometimes you would spawn under the map and you would just fall to your death, and that was really bad. Another glitch was, spawning or using a kill streak, and actually when you get out of that kill streak, it would show your vision as under the map. Although your character would be inside the map still, you wouldn't be able to move, and all you would see was what you would see under the map, and that was pretty bad. That happened to me a couple times, and I was kind of upset because the only way you can get out of it is by getting killed or suiciding. Now, the crashes affected me a lot, and I'm pretty sure it affected a lot of other people. Now, there are remedies, I'd have to say, to fix these crashes. They don't work for everyone, but they've worked for me. The one that truly worked for me was actually disabling the in-game origin feature. Basically, that's in your settings. If you look under origin, it's truly not that too hard to find. But basically, disabling that in-game origin feature truly pretty much stopped most of my crashes. I mean, I crash occasionally now, but it's not as frequent and as often as it was before. It was pretty much anything you did in the game would give you a chance of crashing. There would be like an 80% chance of you crashing if you wanted to customize your gun, switch weapons, select a different class, join a game, load a map, running around. I mean, anything you did in the game would have a 90 or 80% chance of actually crashing, which was very, very annoying. A lot of people didn't like that. Now, moving on to some minor things that I have to say aren't too big of the cons or whatever, but I feel like they kind of changed the game. The first one is the hitboxes. The hitboxes on certain items are kind of sloppily done, like around rocks or boxes or building walls or whatever. Sometimes their hitboxes exceed where the image actually ends. So let's say there's a curved area and you try to shoot over that curved area. Most likely you're not going to be able to do that because the hitbox extends past where or past where the actual image stops. And you're like, well, what the heck? I should be able to shoot over this rock without hitting an invisible wall. So that was quite annoying. I don't know if they're ever going to fix that. Probably not. It's just kind of a game mechanic that they've done. And I don't know, it's kind of annoying. Another thing is the nades. The nades are quite quite overpowered, I'd have to say. I don't know what it is with these soldiers, but they throw like they're professional baseball players. They throw these nades at a 90 miles an hour like toss, and they pretty much chuck them halfway across the map with like ease. It's crazy. I don't know. I've been caught off guard by the guy tossing a nade halfway across the map, and I didn't even see him just because he throws like Superman. Like it makes no sense. And on top of that, people have two nades, so they can do it twice to you, which sucks. I feel that they should, kind of lower that number down to 1 because 1 is powerful enough. Also, the nade explosive range is quite enormous. It was basically there's an indicator, telling you how close you are to a nade. It goes from white to red, so depending on how close you are. If you're close to it, it'll be red. If you're far away from it, it'll be white. I had a situation where I was at 40% health and a nade was near me. The indicator was blinking white, so I thought I was far enough away that I wouldn't die. And lo and behold, I got killed by that nade. So I was like, wow, that's pretty stupid. I don't like that. That shouldn't be happening. But that's kind of a minor thing, like I said. But anyhow. And the last thing that I want to talk about for the cons is the spawn-in team kind of glitch. I know I praised the fire team system earlier on in this commentary, but there are some things that they need to tweak. Sometimes I want to spawn on my teammate, and although he's completely safe, I can't spawn on him because apparently he's not safe. It seems like the game knows something that I don't. Maybe there's a bacteria that's near my teammate, and that corner is filled with feces, and he is completely, infected, so I can't spawn on him or something. Something retarded like that is, it's frustrating. I couldn't spawn on X-Pac, and he was in our spawn, not moving, and no one was seeing him. Like it was weird. I don't know why this happens, but hopefully they will, look into this, and hopefully they'll fix this in the future. But that pretty much wraps up the cons, or the pros and cons of Medal of Honor. So I'm going to be giving you my final opinion on this game, and I would have to say, if they do fix most of these glitches and crashes, I would say buy this game. This game is a lot of fun. Compared to a lot of other commentators that have bashed it, or other big companies that have given it like 4 out of 10 or whatever, I feel like these guys didn't give this game enough time. They didn't put enough effort into the game to actually truly understand the potential on how fun this game, on how fun this game can actually be. I feel like this game is probably the most fun I've had in a while. I mean, Battlefield 3 is great and all, but I mean, there's some aspects in Battlefield 3 that Medal of Honor does right, of course, and the main one that I'm thinking of is the gunplay. The gunplay in this game is extremely extraordinary. All the guns are specifically made for certain ranges, and I do feel like they're balanced. So, I mean, in my personal opinion, if you have the money, I would say go ahead and buy it. But keep in mind, this game is a lot more fun if you play with friends, so make sure you try to get a couple buddies to play with you. If you play by yourself, you probably have a less of experience than, people who play with friends, but nonetheless, you'll probably still have a lot of fun. In the end, buy it if you want, but if you're still kind of on the iffy side, I would wait until this game actually, drops in price. But I have a ton of fun in this game, so yeah, I'm thinking about playing this game right now after I do this commentary. But I hope you guys enjoyed this gameplay. It was just a couple of games that I mashed up, me playing Assault and Sniper, which are the 2 main classes that I truly like to play. But overall, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Hopefully, you got your own opinions. You are deciding whether or not you're going to buy this game or not. But like always, my name is T-Space, and I will catch you guys later.